evening and welcome to the May 27th, 2025 school committee meeting located here at the PDC at Tyngsborough High School. My name is Anthony Tenorella. I officially call this meeting to order. I will start with introductions to my left.
Evan Cody.
Eric Bushman.
Becky Stanton.
Mike Woodlock, Assistant Superintendent.
Hi, Mike Flanagan, Superintendent.
Danielle Athanas.
Ryan McMahon.
Stacy Guido.
Rob Mullen.
Joe Messina, Business Administrator.
Thank you, everyone. If you'll please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. I will remind everyone that these meetings are audio and video recorded. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the April 29th, 2025 Superintendent Evaluation Subcommittee minutes, school committee minutes, executive session minutes. Executive session minutes not to be released at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Citizens' time. See none. Correspondence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We actually didn't give the citizens any opportunity to talk, too. We blocked the seats out. That's a good strategy going forward. So I just want to share one piece of information with you. I did receive an email from Mrs. Kavanaugh, and I had a conversation with Principal Ogden today. One of the things that we've been talking about this year as a district is to really focus on our transition numbers and really do a better job of selling what's available in Tyngsborough Public Schools. And I just want to provide the most current information we have. Last year, at this time, we had 19 students that were transitioning from the elementary school to Innovation Academy. Next year, we have 3. Last year at this time, we had 75 out of 117 students come from TMS to THS, part of our freshman class right now, or 64%. This year, right now, we're projecting 127 out of 153, or 83% of the students transitioning from TMS to THS. So those are numbers that we're excited about. I will not say it's a trend. I will not say it's a blip. It's information at this point. We don't know if that will continue. We hope it does because we like Tyngsborough kids in the Tyngsborough Public Schools. So that being said, I thought that was valuable information to share with the committee at this time, particularly with the amount of work that our building principals have done in terms of transition, and our teachers in terms of communicating from grade 6 to grade 5 and grade 8 to grade 9. They've done a great job of really bridging that gap, as well as our counselors. I don't want to leave our counselors out because they've also been certainly important in this whole process. So I just want to share that information with you as part of correspondence.
All right, thank you. And we'll stay right with you with personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Two personnel issues. We have Corinne Carbone, who will be resigning or has resigned from the district after 10 years of service. She was a foreign language teacher or a Spanish teacher here at the high school. And Paul Silva has resigned from the district after 6 years of service. So we thank them both for their commitment to Tyngsborough.
Yes, thank them. Share the success. The last one, Evan.
Yep. So, as you know, this is my last Share the Success. So today I'm joined by incredibly talented and articulate Cameron Times. She'll be our new Share the Success student representative. In addition to being her class representative, she is also the class president of her grade. So, say something.
Okay, I didn't really prepare anything, but I'm Cameron Times. I'm really excited to see what goes on in here and just to get to know everybody, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the meetings next year.
So,
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cameron, I'll just make one point. I think Evan did a very good job this year articulating his beliefs on behalf of the student body and the senior class, specifically here at Tyngsborough High School. So I hope that you continue that and be a voice for the students here at Tyngsborough High School, and let us know your thoughts, let us know your opinions, and share your insight when appropriate. So
Yeah,
welcome. We're looking forward to having you here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
yeah. So for the Share the Success, earlier this month on Friday, May 9th, our 5th graders visited TMS to attend a theater performance, which they enjoyed. After the show, they made a stop at Sullivan's Ice Cream. Information for grade 5 families about upcoming end-of-year events and activities will be shared soon. The next day, our 4th and 5th grade students took part in an annual Middlesex Math Madness competition, a team-based math event held in Burlington. We are incredibly proud of their accomplishments. A special thank you to Ms. Vieira and Mr. Stewart for supporting our athletes. Earlier this month, our families enjoyed the annual Celebration of Us event. The night was filled with food, art, crafts, dance, tradition, and more. Our families served traditional dishes and hosted activities, posters, and more. Thank you to all who came out and celebrated with us. A special thank you to Ms. Walsh and the MLL department for organizing this event. At TMS, congratulations to the Memorial Day essay winners and runners-ups. Our 6th grade winner is Addison Guido, and our 6th grade runner-up is Michael Rourke. Our 7th grade winner is Caroline DeMari, and our 7th grade runner-up is Brittany Nugent. All 4 students spoke at yesterday's Memorial Day ceremony at Old Town Hall. Chris Dre, the Director of Veteran Services, reported that it went fantastic. At THS, congratulations to the newest members of the Spanish Honor Society. Congratulations to junior Kylie Hogan on recording her 500th career strikeout in a win over Oakmont. Softball continues to have a great season and is ranked 3rd in the latest power rankings. AP testing concluded on May 17th. The MCAS math exam took place on May 21st and 22nd for all sophomores. On Thursday, May 15th, end-of-year activities got underway with the annual Academic Excellence Awards. This year, 25 members of the class of 2025 were recognized. Congratulations to all. Prom was held last Thursday night at Victoria Hall in Woburn. It was a great night for all involved. Senior Awards Night is this Thursday at 7 p.m. in the gymnasium. Scholarships and academic awards will be given to the members of the class of 2025. Lastly, we will look forward to celebrating the class of 2025 at graduation on Friday, June 6th at 7 p.m. on Pierce Field. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for the whole year you've been here with us, and congratulations on your graduation, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
We'll be watching. You'll do us proud, I'm sure.
Mr. Chair, if I could just make one comment on that. I think it's important, and Evan, you did a fantastic job this year. Really did appreciate everything that you stood for and spoke about. One of the things that you just mentioned right there, I think speaks to the transition numbers that we heard earlier. Went to the Academic Excellence award ceremony a couple weeks ago. Used to be a breakfast, used to be a top 10 breakfast back in the day. But to see where our students are going to college, Brown University, Boston College, Clemson, Williams, among many other outstanding colleges. You can get anywhere you want from Tyngsborough High School. You put the time in, you can get anywhere you want. And I want to dispel this belief that you have to go someplace else to attain an Ivy League education, because you can do it right here from Tyngsborough. And this guy right here is living proof of that. So thank you, Evan, for your hard work and being a great representative for us. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to move items 9A and 9C out of order.
Any discussion?
Just before we do,
Yes.
any subcommittee updates?
I was gonna go there, but we don't have any subcommittees to update you on this evening, so.
Oh, good.
Danielle?
Now I'll make that motion to move items 9A and 9C out of order.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? That carries. Turn it over to you.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it right over to Mr. Maringer.
Mr. Manager.
Great. Well, I'd like to thank the school committee for inviting us to have a presentation here tonight. I have 5 exceptional students who are going to talk about some extracurricular activities they have here at the Norris Road campus. And I say the Norris Road campus because while some of them have done middle school only activities, all 5 of these students have in common is that they have done some activity this year with high school students. And I think that is really special in a town like Tyngsborough, is that you really get an opportunity as a middle school student to interact with some of the high school students. And from talking to these students, it's been a wonderful experience. Just want to go into just a couple of quick things. Our athletic program, we have about a little over a third of our students are involved in our athletic program. And we have an incredible, successful theater program that has won all sorts of awards. I know it's been well attended, and it's just something that has filled us with a lot of pride at the middle school and the high school. And I just, one of the things that I've really enjoyed during my first year here as principal is getting to know kind of the high school and middle school students getting along. And you see that, as simple as getting on and off the bus, but you also see students coming back from the high school who are aides in the middle school, who we really appreciate. And I just think it's a wonderful thing about Tyngsborough is the relationship we have 6 through 12 on this campus. So I'm going to turn it over to our students, who I think are going to do a wonderful job. And Maeve, I'll have you start first. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Maeve Anderson, and I'm an 8th grader. I've been attending TMS for the past 3 years and plan on continuing my education at Tyngsborough High School. It is such an honor to be here tonight to talk about my personal experiences at TMS. Throughout my time at TMS, I have participated in numerous extracurricular activities. These activities have allowed me to have a better connection with my school. They've allowed me to connect with my teachers, peers, and high schoolers in situations outside the classroom. Tonight, I am here to elaborate on my transition to middle school and share multiple encounters during my years at TMS and to talk about my involvement with high schoolers. The transition from 5th to 6th grade wasn't as bad as I anticipated. I was expecting a lot more work and stress going into a new school, but I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of support my teachers and peers provided. It was very rewarding to be given more freedom and responsibility as middle schoolers. Throughout all of elementary school, we were led around by our teachers to different classes. Now, we find our own classes and we take ourselves there. Although it was stressful to try and find our classes, I found it extremely refreshing after I memorized where my classes were. My personal bonds with teachers in middle school have improved my experience at TMS greatly. You can form a connection with all your teachers so easily in middle school. All the teachers try their best to make their lessons interactive, fun, and engaging to keep us interested. Something I did that enhanced my experience at TMS was joining theater. I joined theater in 6th grade and have been doing it ever since. Theater is a great way to meet new people and new adults. I have participated in Newsies, Wizard of Oz, and now Into the Woods. I was a Newsie, a Jitterbug, a Munchkin, Ozian, a Poppy, and a narrator. I was able to meet people who were grades above me, but I was still able to connect with them. I was able to rely on my theater friends when I was feeling down. These individuals and adults greatly made me appreciate my experience at TMS. I also love how in middle school, you get opportunities from teachers to volunteer to help do things for the older kids. When I was in 7th grade, I was asked to scoop ice cream for the 8th grade celebration. This simple activity allowed me to meet new people and my future teachers. I met a few 8th grade teachers I was too scared to talk to before. In middle school, many projects are assigned, and you pick subjects and activities that you're personally interested in. These make you more involved in learning and make it more of a pleasure to do. There are many more club options that provide new opportunities to meet new people and teachers who can help support you on your journey through TMS. My journey, like many others, has been improved and enhanced due to extracurricular activities in multiple ways. I highly recommend other students join activities to be more involved and engage with TMS to enhance their experience here. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Stella Jones, and I'm in the 8th grade. Today I'm here to talk about my wonderful experience at Tyngsborough Middle School. I like to think I've had a better than average middle school experience. Aside from the loving and supporting teachers I was so fortunate to have, I've had many opportunities to participate in school clubs and activities, which improved my experience immensely. I feel that I've grown in independence and knowledge and have developed a good work ethic that has helped me to become a better overall friend, student, and peer. In 6th grade, I decided to join the theater program. I thought it would be a good chance to try something new out because it's something I could do after school. This program has completely exceeded my expectations. The musical I was in was combined with middle schoolers and high schoolers. This was probably my favorite part. I got to interact with and look up to many kind high schoolers. They were so open and loving, it was insane to me. My amazing director, Mrs. Leahy, is the best director I could ask for. She pushed my confidence to the next level and constantly made me want to do better. As of last year, I joined voice lessons in which I'm constantly trying to improve so I can not only impress myself, but I impress my friends and the adults in the program. The friendships I have gained throughout these 3 years of theater was amazing. I found myself constantly texting upperclassmen and enjoying trips to AOTS. Not only have my independence, skill, and confidence grown, my friendships and many memories are something I am extremely grateful to have experienced. And I look forward to experiencing many more memories and laughs at the high school. Cross country is another thing that I'm extremely grateful to have experienced, and it has made my middle school experience so much better. I joined cross country in 7th grade with the mindset to stay in shape for soccer. Once again, this has completely exceeded my expectations. As an 8th grader, I got the amazing chance to run for the varsity team. Coach OB is the best coach I have ever had. He's kind, caring, and unexpectedly fast. The only thing he likes more than running is treating the team to pizza. I was not expecting to become such good friends with my teammates. My speed increased thanks to Coach OB, and my friends and memories have increased due to the small team that I am on. I've learned how to have a positive mindset and self-discipline. I worked hard to get my first varsity letter as an 8th grader. Knowing that I would get to run with my friends after school made my day so much better. I am also very fortunate to get the opportunity to have gone on the Washington, D.C. trip in April. Thanks to my amazing chaperones, shout out to Mr. Chapo and Mr. OB, my friends, and activities that I got to do, I will cherish my 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. forever. In closing, I am incredibly grateful for the experience that I have had throughout my 3 years of middle school. I have tried new things, made new friends, and learned so many new things about myself. The opportunities at this school are endless, and there are so many ways to get involved in middle school and high school activities. For these reasons and many more, I will be going to Tyngsborough High School. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Lucy Balsius, and I am a 6th grade student here at TMS. I know I should be starting this out with my current year in theater, but it really all started back in 5th grade. I saw the middle school METG show and thought, wow, that's amazing, but never really thought that could be me on stage. I've always appreciated theater, but never thought it would be something I could do. But in middle school, I learned it's all about trying new things. So when I arrived, I decided to just do the audition and see what happened next. I don't want to be dramatic, but that one-day audition has really been life-changing for me. As a 6th grader, I was shocked to learn I had a speaking role in Into the Woods. But while I was nervous, I was pleasantly surprised by the confidence I had up there on stage. Of course, having the support of the amazing talented cast and the super amazing directors of the show helped immensely. But the act of going on stage in front of a big theater full of strangers and neighbors forced me to tap into skills I never even knew I possessed. This, of course, has seeped into other aspects of my life. I feel like I'm a more confident soccer player, a more confident student, and much more open to new experiences. From day one, we knew that this was going to be a lot of work, but that the payoff would be worth it. Everybody was extremely professional and dedicated, from the cast to the crew. The environment was a serious one, but also a fun and welcoming place to be. If I had a question or needed help, there was always someone to provide guidance to me and anybody else that needed it. When you spend 4+ hours a day with the same group of people working together to achieve the same end goal, you develop some close ties and relationships. Everybody from the very experienced, talented seniors to the newbies like me felt like one big family. And it starts at the top with Mrs. Leahy, who sets an example and works hard to maintain that environment of inclusivity. If you have seen the show or any of the previous ones, it goes without saying that the set design and pieces are amazing, and the costumes are beautiful. There is so much effort and work put into the shows, both on and off the stage. It really is a true privilege to be a part of. For me, seeing that first show in 5th grade to doing the show this year, I now know that theater will be a part of my life, and I am so grateful to have been exposed to this when I was. I would definitely encourage anybody who has been thinking about auditioning or joining the show in any form, just do it. It is an experience you will never forget. I certainly won't. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ari Baudet, and I'm a 7th grader at Tyngsborough Middle School. I play girls soccer and girls lacrosse for Tyngsborough High School, and I'm a goalie in both. On my teams, I have players from 7th through 12th grade. Both of my teams have great captains and upperclassmen who showed amazing leadership and responsibility over the whole team. As a middle schooler, I was a little nervous to practice and play varsity sports. However, it's been one of the best experiences of my life. Both teams had tremendous success in their seasons this year. A common characteristic that both teams had is really nice and competitive seniors. Girls soccer had a strong JV and varsity seasons, winning most of our games. We all had a fun experience and made many memories together. For example, one memory of mine was the car wash. We asked people for money. When we were cold, we would go in the older girl's car and walk to Dunkin's when we were hungry, and just had a fun time being in each other's presence. Another experience was the clinic with the youth lacrosse kids, doing many drills, having fun, and scrimmaging at the end. These experiences allowed us to build relationships, which I think helped us lead to our teams having a great record this season. Currently in lacrosse, we have 12 wins and 4 losses, and we're in the process of chasing our goals and advancing into the state tournament. Throughout the year, we do many events, such as fundraisers, spaghetti dinners, senior nights, and we often will support other teams in their games, such as boys soccer and boys lacrosse. The money during our fundraisers go to more team dinners, team bonding, and new gear. Both of our teams had great coaches that helped us get better, as well as allow us to have fun. Each one of my coaches made me feel very welcome to the team. I just want to say thank you to my coaches and teammates for making me feel very welcomed and treating me with care. Hopefully one day I can be just like these girls and show the same respect and open arms to the future kids of this team. I have had such an amazing time, and I believe that my experiences will help me over the next 5 years at Tyngsborough High School.
Hi, my name is Vidhan Bhagat, and I've had quite an experience as an 8th grader here at Tyngsborough Middle School. I've enjoyed being a part of this school for the past few years and have gotten the full experience of being a middle schooler. However, this year I've enjoyed in-school and after-school activities like never before. First, I'd like to share my thrilling experience as a band student at THS. Since 5th grade, Mr. Eden has taught me and my peers for the past few years. This past year, I enjoyed playing at the band concerts in front of my family. I played exciting songs such as 40s, Faces of the Sky, Revolutionary Anthem, and many more. Not only that, but being in the band also means I get to visit Six Flags for the Great East Festival that we participate in every year. We did exceptionally well this year and received a Platinum Award for our performance. Overall, I'm very excited to be a part of the band program and to have the opportunity to learn to play the flute. Moving on, another activity I participated in was the Knowledge Bowl. For Knowledge Bowl practices, we meet in Mr. P's room on Tuesdays after school ends. We play trivia and answer many questions to practice for the actual Knowledge Bowl that took place on May 7th this year. In the Knowledge Bowl, we came in 4th and almost made it to the final round, but unfortunately, we couldn't put up enough points on the board. Even though we lost, the free pizza at the beginning of the event was delicious. I'm going to miss Knowledge Bowl and its fun moments next year. Another aspect of my middle school experience was that my friends and I had the opportunity to play for the junior varsity soccer team, which was a blast. I learned new things throughout the season from the older players. At the beginning of the season, I was a little nervous because I saw many new faces, but that ended up being the best part. By the end of the season, I was friends with everyone on the team. I'm glad I joined the team as I got to experience the intensity and fun of JV soccer. Additionally, with all the hard work I put into soccer, I had the chance to be a starter as a left back on the team. I'm proud to say I scored my first goal as an 8th grader in the game against Shawshing Tech, which felt awesome. At the end of the season, I got the Most Improved Player award on the JV soccer team during the Falls Awards ceremony. It felt good to be part of something special. I can't wait to see what opportunities await me in the future. In conclusion, this final year of middle school has been interesting and full of fun, with many new opportunities coming my way. I've learned so much over these past few years to prepare me for high school. I'm truly grateful for that and for the chance to be here today and share different aspects of my middle school experience. Thank you.
Excellent. I think it was absolutely great job. Fantastic, fantastic. I didn't know if there were any questions that anyone had.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you all for being here this evening. That was an incredible presentation. So thank you all. It's not easy to do that in front of a room full of people and knowing there's millions of people at home. But I am going to open it up to the committee because there's always questions that everybody wants to ask.
Oh, sure, I'll go first. Yes. So I've been on this committee for 8 years now, and honestly, this might be the best presentation from students we've had in that time. All very well prepared, well spoken, we could hear you. You didn't rush, you didn't seem nervous, so absolutely great job by all of you. I have two pretty easy questions. One, what are you most excited for the summer? And then two, what advice would you give to the incoming 6th graders for next year?
So this summer, I'm excited to do more lacrosse clinics, and well, the beginning of my soccer season starts, so get more practice for that. And then for the upcoming 6th graders, I would say just like come in with open-minded, don't be nervous, you're gonna do great, and all the teachers are always welcoming and open-minded for everybody.
Lucy, as a 6th grader, you gave some advice. Do you want to give anything else you can add to that?
Just like, it's not that like different to 5th grade. You have a lot more independence, which is nice, and I think it's really great to like walk to my classes and stuff. So I feel like just don't worry about it. Don't stress out. The school isn't that big, so you won't get lost.
So my favorite thing that I'm looking forward to this summer is I go to a summer camp every year for 2 weeks. It's sleepover. I get to do a lot of fun things there. It's not for everyone, but it's very enjoyable, and I'm excited. One of my biggest pieces of advice for the upcoming 6th graders is just to get it most involved as much as you can. I feel like it really gets you outside of the world, and you get to do a lot more things and meet a lot more people. I feel like that really like elevated my experience, knowing a lot more people, and yeah, and just staying on top of your work and stuff.
Great.
I'm very excited this summer to travel and for the theater banquet coming up. And a piece of advice I'd give upcoming middle schoolers is just to have fun with it and do as much as you can. In middle school, you have so much more freedom and so many more opportunities to do more sports and clubs. And I would say take advantage of that while you could.
I'm excited for my cricket tournament in Virginia, and for 6th graders, I want them to don't worry about it, just float it. And you'll make plenty of mistakes along the way, but don't worry about it. There's teachers there to help you out.
Excellent.
I'll go next. I was excited for this group to come in because I know a lot of you. You might not know me, but I know a lot of you. I know Lucy and Stella very well. Big fan. And Ari, I've seen you on the soccer field with some of my loved ones. So this was a talented group that I knew that you were bringing in, Mr. Maringer, so I was excited.
Right.
I love that you all shared perspectives of the different things that you got involved in school, because I do agree with all of you. Getting involved is a great way to make friends and make school feel more comfortable and a positive experience. And I like that you all kind of got involved in different things. Well, theater was a major important one. There were some other suggestions too, and I think that's a great message to pass on. I've enjoyed watching you guys, whether it's on the athletic field or on the stage, or seeing outside of school, and I think you're all great, and you did great.
Sure. Making me speak. Not a question. I just wanted to say you did a wonderful job, wonderful presentation. I have been very fortunate to have seen most of the theater programs for the past several years. I particularly, sorry Lucy, but I particularly remember the two of you in some of these performances. You've done a wonderful job. I really appreciate the amount of work it takes to be a part of that, and I hope you continue with it whenever you go to school. Okay. But that's really all. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. All right, and good luck in your.
Thank you.
See isn't coming up.
Well, since Mr. McMahon took my first question, I'll go to my second backup question, which is there anything that you guys, either for Lucy or Ari who are still in middle school, or for those of you who are going on to high school, is there anything you haven't tried yet? Because there's so many activities and extracurriculars offered. Is there anything you haven't tried yet that you would want to try?
I don't know. It's that's a hard question to answer. There's so many options for like extracurriculars, and I feel like I would, but I don't know if I would have the time with it between soccer and lacrosse. I would if I did.
I feel like, again, there are so many options, but I think I'm definitely going to try out cross country. Yeah, it seems very fun, and a lot of my friends were doing it, and they told me to try it out.
I think I would have loved to get involved with a teeny bit more. I think time-consuming wise, I don't think I was able to. Theater and cross country are both very time-consuming, but I think it would have been really nice to, in a perfect world, to try out a lot more things.
I think I would have wished to do more clubs so I can get involved with more people, more grades, and more teachers. But that's really it, because theater takes up a lot of time.
There's a lot of wisdom in knowing your limits.
Yeah.
More so just a comment for me. You were all very well spoken tonight. I loved that we had 6th, 7th, and 8th graders here, and from theater to band to Knowledge Bowl to sports. What a great cross section of students here. And Mr. McMahon was right. This was the best presentation we've had. We're not saying it because your parents are sitting behind you. You guys really did a fantastic job tonight. Thank you for coming.
And I'll just give a comment. I think you guys did a terrific job tonight. And it's really nice to kind of hear the diversity of different clubs and between sports, band, theater that you're all involved with. And all the best as you move on, middle school and high school. Thank you.
Yeah, if I could just make a comment as well, Mr. Chair, I can't keep my mouth shut sometimes. So I think it was about 15 to 20 years ago, we talked about canceling one of our bus loops. And we were gonna put 6th to 12th graders on the same bus. And parents were up in arms, they were concerned. You can't put 6th graders with 12th graders. And we did, and we did it seamlessly. And we said, this is Tyngsborough, and our older kids are gonna take care of our younger kids. And the stories I hear tonight, going to AOTS, I don't know if it was me or Stella, what did you say, going to AOTS? Going to AOTS with the older kids, going to Dunkin's after the car wash, right? All right, so these connections with older kids, that's just part of the climate and culture of this community. That's part of the culture of the school system. And I think that's why when we were building a new middle school, we didn't say put it at the end and leave it down there. We wanted a campus feel. We wanted that connection because it is so integral to who we are over the past 20 years, with kids playing, acting up in the musical here with the high school kids and playing on varsity sports and getting to know each other. And having the high school kids go over there and serve as tutors and supports in your class for you. That connection is huge. I think that's what makes Tyngsborough really special. So I'm thrilled to hear that you all still value that and that it's an important part of who we are. So thank you for sharing that.
The last comment I would make is, listening to the five of you this evening, it says a lot about our staff as well. Our teachers, our coaches, our theater directors, our band directors, everything. So thank you to them as well for producing these types of kids. It's incredible. And I'm always proud of Tyngsborough, especially after an edit. But that's it, guys. We won't bother you anymore. I am going to ask for a recess for 5 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Ms. Piper?
You guys are great. You guys are
Welcome back, everyone. We will continue with item 9C, the Whitson Food Service Contract Amendment. And I believe we'll be turning this over to Mr. Messina.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So we do have some housekeeping as part of 9C in terms of renewing the food service contract as we do every year. But first, we haven't done this in a while, but your Assistant Business Administrator, Dan Hogan, who most of you know, he's here tonight. He's pretty much been the business office liaison with the food service program this year. And I'm going to kick it over to Dan, and he's going to introduce our Whitson's partners tonight.
Good evening, school committee members. Today we have Alyssa Charles, our Food Services District Manager, and Tracy Demers, our Food Service Director. And they're going to run you through a presentation on this year's operations and what they'd like to see for the future for food services.
Perfect, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all. Thank you for having us. As Dan said, my name's Alyssa Charles. I'm the District Manager with Whitson's.
I'm Tracy Demers. This is my 8th year now being the Food Service Director for the Tyngsborough School District.
So this is just sort of a quick agenda of what we're going to go through tonight. Whitson's has our 3 key principles: food, family, and service. So food, serving wholesome food that tastes great, family, treating everyone like family. That means our staff, our communities, the students, of course, and service, making the world a better place. So we're going to start off with family. I'll turn it over to Tracy. Yep.
Next one.
Next one, okay.
All right. So here are some of our team members. We have a total of 9 team members with 4 positions open in the district at the moment. So all leads are certified in the Serve Safe and Choke training, and then all staff are trained in allergen, civil rights, and the NSLP, as well as monthly safety training. So one of our new popular items in the district is the acai bowls. The acai bowl is a fruit from the Amazon. It's like a smoothie bowl with fresh fruit and granola. The Whitson guest chef, Cesar Torres, has introduced the acai bowl to the middle school and the high school students, and he will introduce it to the elementary student kids tomorrow.
And so Cesar Torres is our Whitson's regional guest chef, so he'll come into the school district a few times throughout the year to help just take the food to the next level with a little bit more of professional culinary training behind him. He comes in, he decorates the line, he'll wear a white hat and get all the students really excited about lunch service, and he'll be coming again to the high school before the end of the year.
Yes. For the melted mac on the 3rd. Yeah. Our most popular item by far this year is the homemade cowboy chili. We try to incorporate new menu items as often as possible throughout the school year. Oh, you were doing the pop-ups.
Sure. So the Whitson's has a concept we call pop-up shops, where we try to take a really fun food trend that you might see in a fast casual style restaurant, for example, wings or chicken sandwich, tacos, something that's really trending, and serve it as a school lunch. So make all the nutritionals fit into what is required for the school lunch program, and then bring in some extra marketing materials and maybe our guest chef Cesar to really make it pop and stand out from our regular service. So as Tracy mentioned, we have our Mac Factory, which is a build your own mac and cheese bowl concept that we'll be doing next week at the high school on the 3rd.
Yes.
And so it'll be mac and cheese with different protein and veggie toppings. Students can sort of build their own. So we try to do that a few times throughout the year just to sort of mix it up, bring in something fresh, get the students excited, and introduce a little more variety.
And then here are some pictures of the lines decorated for the holidays. The students love to see the kitchens all decorated for the holidays. We do Luke the Lion. It's kind of like Elf on the Shelf. He comes and he hides somewhere different, and he'll have a new veggie to try and get the kids, involved in trying new items. We introduced breakfast at all 3 schools last year. This is a picture of the daily offerings at the high school, And the cart is, we celebrated National School Breakfast Week at the elementary by giving the students pencils, bookmarks, and placemats. And then we offer students a variety of unlimited fruit and veggies daily. This is a picture of the elementary school with a choice of carrotinis, cucumbers, apple slices, peaches, and oranges. This is our Healthy Harvest Bar that we offer daily at the middle and high school, where students can build their own side salads in addition to their daily food choices. And then here are pictures of our homemade pizza choices made daily at the middle and high school. We offer cheese, pepperoni, and vegetable pizza daily along with the specialty of the day.
Great, so that was sort of a quick level review of our food. We didn't want to get into too much detail, but more just show you the photos and let you see what's being served to the students. We can go to the next slide. So we did have a state administrative review of the food service department this year, which we worked on in conjunction with the business office. They select one school to audit on site during breakfast and lunch service, so they chose the high school. And they said it was a fantastic review. All of our menus were fully compliant, production records, temperature control, service, everything was exactly how they wanted to see it. It was, they said, one of their best reviews of the year, which is wonderful. They were particularly impressed with the number of offerings at the high school, given the size of the school and the number of staff, as well as very impressed with the students who, one of the requirements under Universal Free for free meals, every student needs a fruit or vegetable on their tray. As you saw from the Healthy Harvest Bar, there's a lot of offerings every day, so students hopefully can find something that they like and will enjoy. But that none of the students had to be really told to go back to take a fruit or vegetable, that they were all coming through the register with their fruit and vegetable already compliant, and that's something that a lot of districts have struggled with. So they were very happy to see that our students are taking their fruits and veggies. Just a quick financial update. So these are just our average breakfast and lunch meals served. The orange bar is last year, and then the blue bar is this year. So the graph on the left is breakfast. So we just started breakfast last year. It was more popular last year when it was new. Now we're seeing participation level off. So we are looking into some new breakfast items that we could potentially bring in for next school year to try to drive that participation higher again. And then at lunch, the green bar on the top is fiscal year 23, and then orange is 24, and blue is current year. The average daily meals at the high school have been about stable, middle school is up, and elementary school we've actually seen a little bit of a decrease. We think this is potentially due to maybe declining enrollment, and then we're also kind of taking a look inward and seeing what else can we introduce down there as far as new menu items to just get kids reinterested in the program. This is gross revenue year to date. We now have April's as well, so gross revenue is around $770,000. You can see our month over month there. And our net revenue year to date is around $211,000 for the program. So that's profit that stays with the food service department program, funds to be used just in food service. And year over year, we're on track to at least meet last year, if not surpass. The past 3 years, there was some supply chain assistance funding across the state specific for food service programs. This is the first year that we haven't seen that. So that's why we might end up not exactly where we were last year, but it was a big chunk of profit for the district last year too. And what's next? So we're looking at adding in new menu items, including a lot of plant-based options, more of our pop-up shops, more world cuisines that we can bring in, increasing the breakfast variety, as I mentioned, to sort of get students excited about breakfast. Partnering with local farms. We have partnerships with a few local vendors that are like a food hub. So they contract with farms throughout Massachusetts and New Hampshire, and we can purchase from those farms through the hubs, which allows us to bring in from all sorts of produce from farms all over the region. And we really want to focus on that for next year, because there's so many local farms in this area that we want to serve students food as fresh and local as possible. And finally, a more formal process for meeting with each school. So Tracy's going to be looking to partner with the principals to connect with student groups and have sort of like a liaison or a group within each school that we can hear feedback directly from the students as far as what they want to see, favorite dishes that we can add, things that maybe they used to love but they're seeing too much of, that we can work with them and hear from our students directly. Questions?
I will tell you that our students tell us what they like and don't like.
All too well.
Yes, all too well. But thank you very much for the presentation. I'll open it up. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for coming in tonight. If you've started thinking about it, could maybe you start sharing some of your plans for next year with the new building opening up? What are some of the things that you're planning on expanding on, maybe doing things differently because it's a new space, maybe giving you better opportunities for presentations?
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna try and expand more variety, because the salad bar is gonna be in the middle, and then the stations are gonna be on the sides for them to be able to come, and then try and do some more sandwiches, maybe made to order if possible, provided labor's, you know, provided we can get some help.
And to that as well, do you have any, I've seen this in other schools, do you have a grab-and-go option for athletes? Obviously, you know, after half an hour after school is out, you can pretty much sell them anything at that point. Maybe just, well, I don't mean, you know, going to, you know, all sugar-based, but something that kind of fuels them for practices, for going to games. A lot of times they've got time in between, and they don't necessarily have anything to eat, or they got to bring something from home. Is that something that
we've tried that a number of times? We've tried to get that up and running for student athletes, for kids that stay late at homework club, for any other activity. It's not very popular. It seems like they go to Ayots, so they go to Dunkin's, and that's where they're fueling up. And I think that we've tried it probably at least a half dozen times in my time here, and the food basically goes untaken. It just sits.
Is it the same kind of food that you're serving, though, as what you serve at the? And I'm not,
And
you know,
they-
and I'm not denigrating what's served at lunch, but it's not something necessarily that kids are going to seek out on their own time.
No, but the after-school snack program is part of the food service program, so it has to follow the guidelines that the DESE and Department of Agriculture lay out for Whitson's to serve.
Okay.
I mean, I'd love them to have a box of Pop-Tarts down there that I can.
No,
grab.
I understand that. The other thing, the last thing that I have is, in the past, using, with the profit that develops each year, we've had investments from Whitson's in the past in new equipment. Is that something that's on that's within the plan over this year or maybe the next couple of years?
So we had, as part of the review, we pretty much discovered that we have a pretty decent sized food service balance available, as do most districts do right now, due to the fact that the state's funding. And there's a limited resources that you can take to use that money, all directly related to the food service program. So, working with Mr. Pike, the facilities director, we've basically inventoried a lot of the equipment and targeted a lot of the mechanicals for replacement this summer. Part of the other reason we're sitting with such a large amount, as Tracy had mentioned, we're understaffed. And
I know, yeah.
we're understaffed in bus drivers and paraprofessionals.
Exactly.
And,
Yep.
we're working with Alyssa and Tracy to try to find a landing spot for new food service workers because of the pay structure for years, when this program was break even, the workers were getting very little in terms of an hourly wage. So now we're sort of working to bring our most veteran folks up a little bit so we can slot in some new help at a higher rate. So we're hopeful that this year and then again next year, we're gonna do a little better at that. And then we're looking at our inventory both at this school and the elementary and say, what's targeted for replacement or what might need to be upgraded to the point where, as you know, if the state says you're sitting on too much money, they want it back. So that's the last thing we want to do is give the state back money, and it's really the last thing. So we have
And they don't want it back either.
Right, they don't.
They want us to spend.
We have a pretty aggressive plan in terms of getting some mechanicals up to speed and looking at some of the newer equipment. I know we just replaced dishwashers both here and at the elementary school.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
On that note of hiring, is there any certifications or anything that someone needs, or could it just be a parent of a middle schooler who has nothing to do in the middle of the day? And
Most of them are all parents. It could be the parents, and we offer all the training that they need.
Yeah, and just to sort of come in the door, we see a lot of our food service workers, they have no experience in a kitchen,
Right.
but the hours are great for them, and so we bring them in, we train them, and they tend to stay for a long time because we see a lot of parents who start when their kindergartner starts, and they think they're just gonna stay for a few years, and then they end up, 15, 20 years on, still here and become the pros. But yeah, any like Serve Safe certifications or anything like that, we help educate them and train them for.
all right, so we can put the word out to parents within the district. If they're looking for something to do during the day. Yes. Go ahead,
I just want to say thank you for coming in. I found the information very interesting. I loved seeing all the healthy, fresh options on the salad bar and the veggie fruit bar. I know that's actually, and it sounds like a big hit for our kids, and I'm glad to hear that they're grabbing it and that's what they're going for. I also have received feedback that like when you did the acai bowl or when you have like pop-up type things, the kids really love that. They love just something new and different. Do you see more of that maybe happening? It seems to happen maybe more often, maybe I'm wrong, at the middle school and high school.
Right.
Do you see that happening maybe more often at the elementary school for those kiddos?
Yeah, moving forward next year. It's
Okay.
just more, we do kind of a sampling over there.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be doing a sampling tomorrow. That way, if the kids don't like it, they still have their main meal.
Gotcha.
So they'll have a sampling of it. But then some, like the pop-up chicken, where it's a chicken sandwich and stuff, we'll do it as a
Okay.
full meal.
Sometimes we'll modify it, like it's a Chick-fil-A, the sandwich you're talking about, it's a Chick-fil-A style sandwich with pickles and the Chick-fil-A sauce, and that's very popular in the upper grades. but
Right.
Sometimes for the elementary, every student says, well, I don't want the
Right.
sauce, I don't want the pickles,
Yeah.
it's just, then it's just a
That makes
chicken
sense.
patty. But we like to adapt it and make it more customizable for them too.
Yeah, and I love hearing that you're like looking to hearing from the students, hearing their feedback and getting input about, is there something new you want to try or what do you like or not like? So I think that's great. I think you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to comment on two things that I genuinely appreciate about you coming to speak to us tonight. One, because this is public, all of us parents who are told that there are no healthy options at school by our children, that we have in our guts that that's absolutely not true. We now have like photographic evidence. And again, like you didn't hear any complaints from me when my kids are trying to pull that nonsense off. But I have heard from other parents, and then you hear other parents chime in and say, no, my kids are getting X, Y, and Z. So it's awesome that you guys shared that with the community tonight. And I also super appreciate, because I know Mr. Tinobrella mentioned that our students are very opinionated with a big O, and they have opinions, and I know you met with them last year. They are an awesome resource, so I love that that's on the horizon as a regular thing to do. So thank you so much for coming and sharing with the community tonight. It's huge.
Anyone else? Yeah. You're all good?
Thank you for
All right,
coming.
So, Mr. Messina, we have a motion here.
Yes.
Okay.
So since we do have to approve the contract annually, I'd seek a motion to approve the 25-26 food service contract, which is Amendment 2, a possible 4 with Whitson's New England and to authorize the chair to sign that document.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Thank you guys very much for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
And good luck in our new cafeteria next year.
I can't wait to get in there.
So are we.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Tracy.
We're not gonna get rid of Dan. Dan's gonna stay, so he can learn.
What, you think you're gonna retire someday? That's not happening.
As I stay upright.
All right, we're gonna go back to our regular scheduled, 8.
So we'll jump into the slide deck now, Mr. Chair, just to remind upcoming meetings and events. I just put the big event graduation next Friday night, June 6th, 7 o'clock, weather permitting outside, weather permitting. School committee meeting next June 10th. That'll be our reorganization meeting. Then with school building committee meetings scheduled from June and August, and we will have more school committee meetings scheduled later on in this agenda. So as we go on to the MSBA update, this is the overview calendar that was presented to the school building committee last week. As you can see, it is very busy starting next week. Next week, furniture arrives June 2nd. June 9th, the packing boxes will arrive, not boxes, crates, excuse me, will be dropped off at the middle school. Middle school teachers will have from June 9th to June 16th to pack up all their belongings in the crate. We'll put stickers on them and label them. On Thursday, June 19th, those crates will be moved into the new middle school. June 20th, they'll put the fence up, and that'll be it. That'll be the last time anyone from Tyngsborough sets foot in the Tyngsborough Middle School as we currently know it. They will begin asbestos abatement at that point, and demolition will ensue several weeks thereafter. You can see from June and July, that entire month will be the deployment of the furniture throughout the school. So it'll be a major push in June and July to deploy all the furniture throughout the school, as well as install all the head end room technology and technology in the school. We will have a final cleaning on August 8th. The week of August 11th, central office will move in to the offices, and the following week, August 18th, middle school teachers will have access to come in and be able to unpack. We're talking the week of August 18th there as well, of doing 2 open houses, one being for upcoming 5th graders and their families, and one being for the community at large, whether it's a Wednesday night drop-in and a Saturday morning drop-in with coffee, bagels kind of thing, but just to kind of showcase school set up, furniture's in, we're ready to go, and kind of put that out to the community, and a way to celebrate and thank the community for their support throughout this project. So that is the timeline that is going on this summer. As we go to the next slide, this is what the current school looks like right now. Every area in the building that's marked green is currently ready for furniture to be deployed. The orange spaces are not ready. The 2 big orange spaces you see right there are the cafetorium up top and the gym on the bottom. Gym flooring is being installed this week. It'll probably run into next week. It'll be another week or so before they coat it. So that will not be ready for gym equipment, which there isn't a whole lot, to be done at the end, to go in there probably till closer to August. The cafeteria, there's work going on right now. They're putting wood flooring down on the stage. They're finalizing the flooring in the cafeteria itself. We're waiting on handrails to come in at the end of the cafeteria, as well as the walkway on the second, or the catwalk on the second level. So that area, once the railings come in and those are all installed, that area will be ready. As we look at the second floor, you can see, again, it's just that common walkway without the railings on that second level catwalk, but everything else on the second floor is green and ready to receive furniture. So they've done a great job, and it's exciting to see where we are in this process. So we go to the next slide. This is just a reminder to the entire community, that will be the only access we have this summer. Essentially, the very front row of parking from Norris Road entrance, Norris Road will entrance, or the entrance currently right now will be the entrance and the exit. They're going to take everywhere else as they mill and pave everywhere and begin, finalize the work on phase 1 of the project. We go to the next slide. Phase 1 is the new school and the greenery around it. Phase 2 is on the right, and you can see a little red jagged line. That red line will be the fence line for phase 2. And there is a major push right now to begin work on demo of the existing parking lot where the new softball field will go while we're abating and demoing the current school. We really need to get that softball field down this early fall so we can have 2 growing seasons on it, so we could potentially be on it by the end of next spring. That's the goal. So there's a push right now to make sure that work is going as fast as possible. So that'll be phase 2. So when we come back to school, we will have access to all of phase 1. Phase 2 will be the new fence line. So we'll lose a little bit of parking there, but it'll be a major push. And then hopefully by December, the fence is gone and we're operating as a campus again. So that's where we are in terms of the MSBA update. I think I have some pictures here just to share. The first picture on the left, that shows you the temporary rail system that's in on the catwalk. Again, we're just waiting for the final railing to come in. We had to put that like I could do anything. They had to put that temporary rail system in so that we could get our elevator certified and inspected and pass that. So that's that. The middle picture is an example of the wall coverings that exist in the school. They match the color themes throughout. Again, it's the 4 seasons is the theme of the school. And then the final one on the right, final picture on the right, is just a final locker room picture. So the locker rooms are done and installed and ready to go. So we're in good shape in terms of the project as we stand. And again, it's crazy to say it, but furniture comes next week. They will be pouring the rest of the concrete pad out here tomorrow morning. They're coming to pour. And for those people who are asking where the tiger is going, the tiger statue, if you look out at the plaza right now, you see a pink squared off area, that's where the tiger's going, right there in the middle of the walkway down to the fields. So that's where we are for MSBA update.
Awesome. It's very exciting.
One question, Dr. Flynn. When's the absolute end date for the project? Clean up, all the contractors leave, and we're just done?
It'll be spring of '26.
Okay.
Because what they anticipate, it's actually great, it made a great point. They anticipate that some of the plantings they put in now are gonna die. It happens. They lose a percentage of them, so they're gonna come back next spring, put the final plantings in, clean everything up, the final painting of all the blinds, and at that point, because people are asking, when do you do a grand opening? You don't do a grand opening for a year from now, when it's really final at that point. We talk about the Groton Florence Welch Elementary School. They've been in it for an entire year. They still haven't done their grand opening. Actually, the grand opening was last week, or it was next week, I think. And they've been in it for the entire school year because they had demo and construction and parking lots. So they really want a final product before they bring the MSBA back out with all your representatives and senators to really do a cutting, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
But that was a good question, because I asked how many more school building committee meetings we're going to have.
True.
Yeah, and it's going to go on for probably 2 years, because there'll be invoices and that type of stuff that come through.
And to that point, just so the community knows, Fontaine, JCJ, and Left Field will live in the middle school for the next 8 months. We designate a classroom for them to live as their office. The trailers will go away, and they'll be there really to let us live in it for 6 months and make sure that the systems are working to our satisfaction and appropriately, and answer any questions we have, and really advise us as we kind of move into a new building. So it's exciting.
All right, thank you. 9B, school
9B.
committee meeting dates.
So, Mr. Chair, these are rollover the dates that we've used for the past couple of years. Seems to work. We've not had a meeting in July. We double up in meetings in August to kind of kick the school year off, so I follow that same model. And these will be our school committee dates for next year. Obviously, and the committee reserves the right to add or delete or whatever at any point throughout the process.
I'm gonna miss the first one.
Okay?
We don't normally add many.
Already calling in a second.
Unless it's COVID.
Unless it's COVID.
Unless it's COVID.
Let's not go back there.
Not a lot, so.
All right, so I'll take a motion to approve the 2025, 2026 meeting dates as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? That carries. Thank you all.
We'll go on to 9D now,
How
Mr.
many
Chair.
nines do we have?
Sorry, no, it's a busy night, busy night. 9D. 9D is cell phone expectations. So just, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to begin the conversation on this. A few meetings ago, I presented to this committee information from the legislative committee of MASS, my governing body, that talked about the Study Act that was coming down the pike. There is more conversation now, and there's more of a catalyst now to talk about having some sort of cell phone policy in school. A lot of the research out there says that you see improved test scores and learning retention, and I've actually incorporated this research into the drive, so you can look at this on your own if you so desire. But there's a benefit to having some type of policy in place that would limit and or restrict cell phone use by students at certain times during the school day. So we want to begin the conversation here in Tyngsborough. What makes sense for us? I know that, or I believe that legislation is coming imminently, and I know that on June 10th, I have another legislative committee meeting where we will get a better sense of where everyone in the state is. But as we go to the next slide, you can see nationally, only 3 states have not taken any action or have no intention of taking any action regarding cell phones: Nevada, Wyoming, and Mississippi. You can see all the southern states in red. They have a total cell phone ban, bell to bell. You can see the states in orange have some type of hybrid legislation, and all those brown states are in the process of discussing it and considering legislation coming down the pike. This graphic was taken from the Associated Press last week. Channel 4 has been running stories on it. Like this, the train's left the station. This is coming. So again, we want to have the conversation and say what's appropriate for us. We'll go to the next slide. The Study Act, which I talked about, was drafted by the Attorney General Campbell, and it has a lot of support from senators and representatives throughout the Commonwealth. And right now, surveys have gone out to local school leaders, superintendents, assistant superintendents, to say, what is the policy in your district, what makes sense, and how do we think about this going forward? I think what we're hearing, and as I look at some of the research, and again, you can find research on a lot of different things, there is value to having students have some access to technology so that it can be used as an educational instrument. Pedagogically, that makes sense. So there needs to be, I believe, some discretion on when we have limitations on cell phones. However, what you cannot debate is the impact that cell phones have on middle school age students. And that age group really is impacted by it more so than anyone else. Elementary school, most schools have a ban on cell phones at the elementary school. Middle school students, by not having some type of parameters on what the expectation is there, those kids are more impacted by social media. Their brains aren't developed yet, and they're using it in ways they shouldn't be using it. So we need to think about what's appropriate for our middle school, and certainly what's appropriate for our high school as our kids start to think about college and the next level. So the Study Act was developed by Attorney General Campbell, and that's, again, there for you to review. As we go to the next slide, that legislation, which I believe will be passed, is going to require all districts to have some type of policy, whether it is a bell-to-bell ban, whether it's a K-12 ban on all kids, all devices, whether it's allowing certain places in high schools to have access to it at certain times, whether it allows teacher discretion at the middle school or high school. We need to figure out what's best for us. I don't know what's best for us right now. We're in the beginning stages of having this conversation, but I think it's a conversation that we need to begin the dialogue on. We need to understand what our teachers want, what our parents want, what our students want, give everyone a voice, understanding the research behind it, understanding that expectations are going to be placed on the district. So we have a lot of work to do ahead of us. I'm just giving you information right now because the conversation needs to start, I believe, and I want to get in front of it. So as you go to the next slide, this is what it potentially looks like in other districts. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike at this time.
So what you see on the top of those yonder pouches where students would come in and literally put their phone in that pouch, which they can't unlock until the end of the day. So that's kind of the most extreme version of a cell phone ban. What you see, and you'll see some of this actually in Tyngsborough, which is almost like a shoe rack where students place a phone there and it's meant to be there until they leave the classroom, or a potential lockable, mini locker for classrooms to just say like this is where they go, or it could be like a homeroom where students go and they can't get it till the end of the day. So there's lots of different opportunities that we're seeing out there. if we look around our local communities, like in Tyngsborough, we don't have a policy necessarily. We leave it up to the teachers to make those decisions for students. But I think what we're seeing more and more, and maybe we're just more cognizant of it, but the more we walk around both the middle school and the high school, the more we see students accessing phones when they probably shouldn't be. So teachers have made it really clear that it is problematic, and that's not just in Tyngsborough, that's across the country. It's difficult to teach when students have access to their phone because there's, you know, a chemical reaction in the brain that's released when they are able to make a connection or get a like or things like that. That's hard to resist when it's right there. And I think teachers need some help from us to say, like, what exactly should we be doing or allowing here and there? So to give some clarity, and these are mostly secondary education areas, not elementary, but in Dracut, they have very specific times that students may access their cell phone. That's probably one of the more comprehensive bans in our local community. In Lowell Public Schools, like my daughter goes to Lowell, they're expected to have them off and away. When I talked to her, I said, how successful is that? She's like, well, we definitely don't use them as much as we used to. But every time I text her, I get a pretty quick response. So I'm not sure how.
And therein lies the point. So there's a whole community parental education that needs to happen
Well,
as
like
well.
every parent, you know, she needs to know something. I expect when she gets an opportunity to look at her phone, she'll look at it. But I know, because she's open about it, I was in class. I'm like, I'm part of the problem then. So, you know, we need to be really clear about that. In Chelmsford, often less used for instructional or with explicit permission. That's kind of what we expect our students to do, but we know it's a little more lax than that, and our teachers could use some teeth to that. And Westford Public Schools, much like us, at teachers' discretion. So we really need, as Dr. Flanagan said, to begin the conversation. And that's not going to be just a conversation that we have at the district office and make a decision for the entire community. You know, it's easy to come up with concerns on both ends. If I don't have my phone, if my son or daughter doesn't have their phone, what happens in an emergency? What would I do? I need to be able to make sure I have a ride after school, these things. So we need to take those things into account. And probably the biggest thing that comes out, like, what if there was an evacuation at the school, or there was a, you know, emergency situation where students might be in danger? I need to hear from my student right away. Sometimes that's a good thing, but our local law enforcement will say sometimes that's not a good thing, because we get, you know, false reports, you know, not on purpose, but it can really create more chaos sometimes than needed. So the long and short of it is, we need to start having conversations with students, with you, with parents, with teachers, and come up with something, as Dr. Flanagan said, is going to be best for Tyngsborough. Because I think we're all pretty confident. There's going to be an expectation by the state that we have a cell phone policy. So we don't want it dictated to us. We'd like to have a say in it.
So I think it's important, you know, so on June 10th, at our next school committee meeting after reorg, I will again come back to this committee and report what I learned from the legislative committee. At that point, I should have a better sense of what MASS is saying, where the legislation itself actually stands, and if MASS is going to take a formal position, as well as the survey, all the results from the survey that went out to every school district in Massachusetts. But I think it's important, you know, that we begin the conversation. And one of the good resources here is the community outreach education document. And this can't be a policy that's done unto students. Like, we have to have parents involved and understand that, you know, this is why it's happening, and that we need your support with this. You can't be, Mike Woodlock is part of the problem, texting his daughter in the middle of the night.
Just being honest. We all probably.
Mike, I'm with you. I text my kids.
Because, I do too, and we all get them. But I probably have texts on my phone right now that don't get checked because I'm in the middle of a school committee meeting, and that can wait. So if we maybe designate times for high school kids to check, or areas for high school kids to have access, great. I'm concerned about the middle school. I think developmentally, I don't know that it's appropriate for them to have full access to their cell phones. Maybe there's a check-in time during the day where it's monitored. I don't know. But we need to have conversations, and Tyngsborough-wise it. So the purpose of tonight isn't to really take any action at all. It's really to say we want to start the conversation. We want you to be part of the conversation, and the train's coming. let's make sure whatever we do represents who we are as a community. That's what I want to put out there.
And I'm glad it's coming after the reorg.
You're still gonna be here.
Yeah.
But yes, and Taunton actually made the news tonight. They're
Taunton?
implementing a policy with no cell phone use during the day at all.
Yeah, and
They'll lock their phones up.
If you go back one slide, like you look at Westford Public Schools, it's at teacher discretion, that's Westford Academy. Westford Middle School has the yonder pouches. So those kids lock them up during the day. So it needs to be different for each school, but each community needs to be different to make sure it's reflective of the community needs, so.
Does the state legislation right now, I think also encompasses like electronic watches?
It does, yeah. So they made it, because there's workarounds. Our kids are smart, right? So they bring dummy phones and smart watches and things like that. Yeah, essentially, there's it's a larger conversation about social media in general. We can't legislate that, right? So I think it's really for us, during instructional time, we want our kids as engaged as possible, unless they're using it for a Kahoot or for an educational purpose, or filming something. Our kids film things in the hallway all the time for class. So
Science labs.
So if we allow some discretion for the teachers, but in the same breath, empower the teachers to say, I want the phones away because this is what we're going to do today. And I think one of the telling stories, I saw a presenter on this a few weeks ago. She said one school district, the administration walked around for 2 weeks, and all they did was take pictures of kids on cell phones. And they said, you go to the cafeteria, there's 5 kids sitting at the cafeteria table, you take a picture. 20 years ago, kids were talking to each other in the cafeteria. So that school said, we don't want any cell phones in the cafeteria. We want you to be social. We want you to talk to each other. If you need to take a call, you want to interact socially or through your phone, you have to go to this area. So I understand that side of it too. So I don't know what the right answer is, but I just think we need to start having dialogue about it.
It's a delicate balance, I think, between the
It is,
parties.
because our position all along has been, we want to teach our kids digital citizenship and be responsible with the phone. I mean, ultimately, that's what it is. I say it all the time. You can't go to Children's Hospital without seeing a doctor get on the elevator and do this the entire time in the elevator. So it's a societal thing as well. So we need to be cognizant of that.
I think too, something that comes out of this with students at times, there are a lot of students that are appreciative that you've taken that option away from them, because they struggle to keep off of it. I mean, I have 3 kids myself, so not having that distraction can be really helpful. It's also a great opportunity to teach them, like, when you really need to do something, sometimes you need to put it in another room. A lot of colleges are doing educational programs on, like, what do you need to do to study to be effective, and that's one of the recommendations. So just having the conversations, I think, is going to be a great start.
So it's more information only.
No other comments or questions? Seeing none. School choice amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually don't have a slide for this. I did receive an email from Mr. Ogden. I think it's in the backup. Woody, keep it in the backup. So, earlier, we reported about the increase in percentage and number of freshmen coming over from 8th grade to 9th grade. As such, we're looking to amend the school choice approval that was recently done to limit school choice seats to 0 in the freshman class. There's no room in the freshman class. Any one room we have, we need to make for somebody who moves into town. So we want to open it up. So I'd like to make an amendment to I think it was 2 meetings ago, we voted on school choice numbers. We want to bring that freshman seat number down to 0 because of the significant increase in students coming over.
Can I get a motion to approve the 2025-2026 school choice available seats as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just one question. Has anybody actually applied for any of those seats?
No, not yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, right. No, good point.
Yeah. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Finance, Mr. Messina.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For signing of bills tonight, 12 warrants were presented to the committee. As always, in your drive is the list of warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts. Also, in lieu of meetings, your single signers, Mr. Bushman and Mr. Mullen, came in on or around May 13th and signed 9 warrants, as well as May 6th, one warrant. That was a student account warrant that we needed to get Evan's prom all paid for and in time, so there were no cancellations. But there, oftentimes there are some last minute year-end invoices that need immediate attention, and I'd like to thank them for coming in and taking care of those. For signing a payroll, 2 payrolls since we last looked at payroll. The payroll dated May 5th, as well as the payroll dated May 19th, and those lists of warrant numbers and amounts are in your drive. And that is it tonight.
Okay, thank you. School committee discussion. Mr. Evan.
Okay. I think this might be our longest meeting.
For that, I apologize.
I'll make it a bit longer, I'm sorry.
We just wanted to spend more time with you.
Can't let go, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I have one not serious. About your snack thing, you know, the lunch program has to apply to those, it's DESE and USDA standards for the, I wonder if one of the lower classes, like freshmen through juniors, might be interested in selling something to their peers, because they should be able to sell whatever they want, right? Yeah? Because I know we can when there's not a meal.
Food.
Yeah.
It has to be, I believe, Dan, 45 minutes after the end of the school day.
That sounds right. Really? Okay.
Yes, we
So the win time is kind of special somehow then?
no.
Okay. We might be doing some things wrong.
Yes, we won't have that discussion.
Yeah. As for Ms. Carbone, moving on, Ms. Carbone actually wrote me 2 letters of recommendation while she was here. One for my college admissions, so she was a huge help there. And another was for the National Security Language Initiative, which is the reason why I'll be able to study abroad in Korea this summer. So the State Department has given me full funding to go learn the language and do immersion. And a big thing for me is Tyngsborough's a small community. We got to keep things going, right? So that I think I was the first. I've not heard of National Security Language Initiative here at Tyngsborough before. Right now we have several sophomores applying already. So hopefully some of them get it. I think it's a huge opportunity. It's very cool. They have language learning classes and immersion programs. And on that note, tomorrow there will be several high schoolers, freshmen through senior year, talking about their experiences to 7th graders to try to get them to come to the high school. Because we did that with the 8th graders. Of course, this is all the guidance office. But a lot of 7th graders make up their minds at that time, right? And finally, I told you I'd have a gift when I left. So every year from now on, there will be the Brown Book Award, in addition to the other book awards for the junior class. So I was given a lot of opportunities here at Tyngsborough. I don't think I would have flourished anywhere else. Tyngsborough was my place, and I want that to be kind of a reminder that, you know, our Harvard alumni did the same thing. They came back and they brought that book, and I want to do the same and make sure that people remember, you know, what they can do from Tyngsborough. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
That's outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah. And thank you for all the hard work and preparation you put into preparing every single week you were here. So thank you, and good luck to you, graduation and after. Be smart, have fun. Yeah. I'll open it up to anybody else, so let's say private. I know, just go around. Bert, go ahead.
Evan, thank you. You did a terrific job this year. Congratulations on your graduation. I know you're going to do a bang-up job. You know, best of luck in your future. Thank you to the middle school students, Whitsons. Really, it's good to hear all the different clubs, activities that are open to students. I went to the Academic Excellence Awards on the 15th, and it's been quite a while since I've been to one. And it was really nice to see the top 26 students in the schools they're going to. A terrific job. Looking forward to the senior awards this week and graduation coming up. Congratulations, Becky, Danielle, on being reelected. I know it wasn't a large amount of voters, unfortunately, but it's a great committee, and I'm glad to be here as part of it, too. Thank you.
And congratulations to you.
You stole my thunder. I was going to say the same. Yeah, congratulations to you, Bert, for being elected. We're happy that you're here with us for another year. You've been a great addition to the school committee. Evan, you've been really awesome. Like, you've been a great participant in our school committee meetings. You've added a lot to the school itself. I've heard from other teachers some great things about you, and congratulations on all that you've accomplished. I know it's the hard work in you, it's the family that you come from, raising you to be a contributing member of society, and it's the teachers and staff that have contributed to your education as well. So thank you so much for contributing to our community here at Tyngsborough Public Schools. I just wish you all the best. I know we're going to hear amazing and great things from you, Evan. So, all the best.
Thank you.
I'll just echo that. Evan, thanks for all that you've done. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Almost set. Thank you.
Well, to reiterate what was already said, Evan, wonderful job this year. I do have to apologize to you for one thing, though. Mr. Flanagan was awfully stingy with snow days this year. We're going to completely blame him for that, okay? Because he had a lot of opportunities to get you an extra day out of classes. But best of luck. You're going to do great things at Brown and after that as well. And we're really proud of you. Thank you to the the middle school students. As usual, wonderful job. And Whitson's coming in, like several of us have said, it's fantastic to hear that they're talking to the kids. That's the most important thing, because service, family, we want to make sure that their voices are heard, because that's the most important part of their job. And that's all I have.
Okay. Evan, I just want to say this was my very first year on the school committee, so you're the first student representative that I've ever worked with, and you've set the bar very high. I've enjoyed your input in our meetings, your sharing of events. You've done a wonderful job. You've actually participated, not just come in and reported, and I appreciate that. And I've enjoyed hearing your perspective. It's also been nice to come to a meeting and say hi to an Evan every time. And look across and watch you in the meetings. You will be missed, but I know you're going to go on and do amazing things. So best of luck. I'm excited to get to know Cameron, our new student representative. I've already heard great things about her from our students, how she's really a great mentor to our younger students. So looking forward to getting to know her more. Thank you to Mr. Manager for bringing a great group of middle school students. It was great to hear from them. A lot of great kids in that group that I know personally and work really hard and are going to be, they are current mentors and will be future mentors going forward. And thank you to Whitson's also. And that's all for tonight.
I can't believe what an action-packed meeting this was. So much going on. Evan, thank you for a year of tremendous work. Like others were saying, your level of participation is outdone your predecessors, and I think that's a good precedent to set. So future reps going forward can hopefully follow that.
I'm telling Bari.
What was it?
I'm telling Bari.
Yeah.
Who?
Bari.
Oh, you already forgot him?
I just saw him on LinkedIn. He just completed his internship. Yeah. Bari was great. You participated a little bit more, so you can tell him. Welcome to Cam. I know she's going to do great. Comes from a great family, and like you said, very well respected student. So I expect good things out of her. Mr. Manager, the TMS students, one of the best presentations I've ever seen. Phenomenal job. Thanks to Whitson's for coming in again, and then just good luck to all the teams that are about to start the playoffs. I hope they all make deep runs.
Thank you to the TMS students for coming out tonight. As everybody has said, they did a phenomenal job, and definitely the best middle school group since I started 3 years ago. Hands down. Everybody does awesome, but they were really well prepared and articulate. It was awesome. Evan, every day when my kids get on the bus, I tell them work hard, play hard, focus, and be kind. You've already got that in spades, and so I will double down with the college advice that I was given once. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful, and always, like Tony said, be smart. So have fun, work hard, play hard, and we can't wait to hear about the great things that you do. And thank you for just being such a great contributing member this year. Mr. Bagat mentioned that the 8th through 12th grade band received the Platinum Award during the Great East Festival, but the 6th, 7th grade band also got the Gold Award, which is the second highest they can get. So Platinum's the highest, and the Gold, and then it goes down from there. So, and there's no like grade level competition, like they all get graded the same. So that's also pretty fantastic for them as well. So that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
A lot of good news tonight. Brown Book, first class, love that. Thank you for that, appreciate it.
Yep.
I'm gonna see him 6 more times over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. See you on Thursday. The only thing that I would add to that is I do think Whitson should bring in food samples for us in the future, Joe.
That's fair.
The pizza looked delicious, so I would have really liked a piece of that. But that's it. Again, I echo everything everybody else said, but we do have a need for executive session this evening to conduct a strategy session in preparation for negotiations with a non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. We will return from the executive session only to adjourn our regular session meeting. I am seeking a motion to enter into executive session. This action requires a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
In favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
Thank you all and have a good night.